Hi guys, welcome back to another video. So the one thing that really gets me, and this whole video will encompass that, is something I have been noticing for a while, and it really irritates me, and I want to know what you guys think about it as well. So without further ado, let's go ahead and watch this. This has something to do with Ron DeSantis banning the Black History AP course in Florida. I'm pretty sure if it changes, the curriculum changes, and they take out this woke shit in there, it'll probably be fine. But let's go and see what this curriculum all entails.
About you. I was just thinking about your logic. Now, you're banning African American studies in all public schools in Florida. I'm thinking, now you got to be fair, Ronnie. You don't look like a fascist, or you don't look like a white supremacist. So to be fair, because I don't think you want to look like a fascist by telling people what they can and cannot study, right?
You know, the one thing I will say about these people, they never go on to explain why he's banning it, what's in the curriculum that's making him come to this decision. It's so convenient for them to leave that out.
And just force one thing on people. You don't want to force just whiteness on people, right? So to be fair, I think you ought to ban all European history, all American history that involves Caucasians or white people. Also, while you're at it, ban all Christian studies. We should not be allowed to learn about the Christian religion.
Well, then why don't we not live in America, motherfucker? Like, do you not understand what freedom of religion means here? Huh? Like, you're so stupid, just so dumb. There's nothing in the Constitution that says something about, the right to study history. No, but the right to practice your, religion here. The right, like, to have that as something that is protected. Get out of here. How is that torturing and indoctrinating someone's mind? That's someone usually chooses to go down that religious path. Okay. Going to school is not necessarily a choice. If you want your kids to be successful in life, that's a necessity, okay? And when it's a necessity, there's no fucking indoctrination, especially not from the likes of you.
Or any white contribution in American history. If you can't learn about black contributions, and you can't learn about African American history in school, then why can't you learn about European history?
And you want to talk about black contributions? When are y'all going to start talking about, the engineers and the scientists, the doctors that came up that were black? The only thing I see y'all talking about when it comes to black people and making it in America, why does it always revolve around hip hop, basketball, and fucking singing?
History in school. Or white European.
Y'all act like black people can't do shit.
I'm just saying, to be fair, right? We don't want to discriminate. But anyhow, if that ain't the case, then I guess that you are a fascist. You want to force shit on people. You want to force whiteness on people. And you want to hide the truth about the black.
I can say that's the reason why y'all are doing. Y'all want to hide the truth. Y'all hide the truth all the time. Why is it that in black studies, they never ever talk about the atrocities of how, like, Africa literally just rounded us up and sold us, okay? No one ever wants to point blame at them. They always want to point the blame at the, white people. Y'all want to say this is we're covering up history, right? Nah, you don't ever want to tell the truth either, because good and well there's a particular party that don't want that coming to light. All right, they don't want you to understand and know that, hey, this was the times, that was the norms. Everybody was doing it, and guess what? Your own people rounded you up. Why are you so mad at us? Why are you so mad at them for just doing what everyone else was doing? You should be mad, and there's no responsibility. There's no type of culpability on the other party. It's insane. These are the type of people who want freaking big tobacco and all that other stuff to pay for their fucking sins, but yet you don't want other people to pay for their fucking. Get the fuck out of here. Because whether or not you want to believe the Atlantis slave trade, what you call back then big ass corporation, guess what? The big ass corporation, what they dealt in their product was human trafficking. All right, and Africa was at the top of that food chain. So fuck y'all who has everything to say about this shit. I don't want to hear it. When you talk about black history, I don't really want to actually talk about black history. You want to teach indoctrination. And that's what Ron DeSantis here was stopping. Come with him curriculum, with the right curriculum, with some history, not indoctrinations, then maybe it's not even maybe. I have an inkling that he would definitely approve the curriculum. But when you throw shit in there, that has nothing to do with Black history, then hey, I got a fucking problem about it. And lesbian, bi, and fucking LGBT, what the fuck does that got to do with Black people in slavery? Not a damn thing.
Black Holocaust, about enslavement of Africans. You want to hide it all. Lynching, Jim Crow, all the whole goddamn thing so you're running on the Jim Crow 2.0 ballot, just like Trump did.
All right, guys, so once again, the woke revolutionaries are upset with Ron DeSantis because Ron DeSantis is doing exactly what he promised, which is keeping woke ideology and woke propaganda and indoctrination out of public schools in Florida. And he made news by basically banning AP African American Studies from the curriculum, from being taught in public schools because of some indoctrination, some wokeness
And honestly, if this shit was taught in white American history, if this shit was taught in European history, if this shit was taught any type of history, I would say the same thing. Get this shit out of here. It's not allowed.
Is in this course. And again, the woke revolutionaries are upset about this. They're crying racism and white supremacy because Ron DeSantis is basically trying to, again, protect students from being indoctrinated in school. So I want to talk about this because I think that I can chime in on how I feel about this as a Black person. But first, I actually want to go ahead and play the clip of Ron DeSantis giving the reasons for why he
Mr. Ron DeSantis, Ronnie.
Florida, our education standards not only don't prevent, but they require teaching Black history, all the important things. That's part of our core curriculum. This was a separate course on top of that for advanced placement credit. And the issue is we have guidelines and standards in Florida. We want education, not indoctrination. If you fall on the side of indoctrination, we're going to decline. If it's education, then we will do this course. So when I heard it didn't meet the standards, I figured, yeah, they may be doing serious. It's way more than that. This course on Black history, what's one of the lessons about? Queer theory. Now, who would say that an important part of
let me ask y'all seriously. What slave on some shit, was worrying about sucking another man's dick? I'm just saying. What slave on some shit was worried about cutting off her titties so she can be viewed as a man? I'm pretty sure those women were not trying to do manly things back then, Like, I bet you the female and male gender roles was very firm. No female wanted to be out. I mean, I'm pretty sure they were out there in the fields picking cotton anyways, but I'm pretty sure the men had to do a lot more. Just saying.
Theory. That is somebody pushing an agenda on our kids. And so when you look to see they have stuff about intersectionality, abolishing prisons, that's a political agenda.
Amen.
So that's the wrong side of the line for Florida standards. We believe in teaching kids facts and how to think, but we don't believe they should have an agenda imposed on them. When you try to use Black history to shoehorn in queer theory, you are clearly trying to use that for political purposes.
Yeah, so you're saying that, you heard that. Now, again, this debate has spilled over into the public, okay? Even the legacy media outlets like Fox News, even they are having heated debates about Ron DeSantis and this decision not to allow this course to be taught in Florida public schools. Take a look.
If you want to live in Ron DeSantis' Florida, and there are a lot of people
Oh,
who
Jessica,
want to, but
this girl.
the reason that it will not be such a
She's so naive.
as many people think. Doing things like this, like banning the teaching of AP.
I'll give it to Fox. Okay, I've looked at Fox a lot and compared to some of these other shows where they don't even bring on the other opponents across the aisle, right? But at least Fox, brings Jessica. But sometimes Jessica, I have to have so much patience with her. Like, I was sheltered, and I think, coming in foster care at 13 opened my eyes up to a lot of things. This woman has never I don't know. It doesn't seem like she has ever come from a lot of hardship in life, or know that, or even have someone or even have someone to be disappointed, and because they failed on a promise or something. I don't know what this woman has gone through to be so naive in life, but I give it to Fox to have her on, because there's a lot of times, even when, like, I remember there was a topic about inflation, and they were talking about printing money and all this other stuff, and this woman still does not understand the concept of inflation. She goes on to say, what are you talking about? Of course we can help out people. All we gotta do is just print money. After the judge, Greg, and I think another person, Jesse, all just explained the concept of inflation. Like, she is, like, sometimes I think she's a nice woman, so I won't call her stupid, but she's very naive.
American history. The Department of Education said, quote, "It teaches students about activism, intersectionality, and encourages ending the war on Black, trans, queer, and gender, and non-conforming and intersex people." I'm sorry, what? You want to cancel? That's the only AP class in Florida that's getting canceled. If you are a teacher in Manatee County, Florida, you now are not allowed to choose the books in your own libraries. It has to go through a media literacy person or librarian for you to choose. There are teachers now who are having to cover up or remove all of the books that they have hand selected for their classrooms because of this assault by the government of Florida.
Because here's a crazy thing. Even if your kid's at the homeschool, guess who's going to go through that curriculum? The school is too, but your mom too. Your parents are homeschool. Bring your kids to homeschool. I'd rather have I was homeschooled. I went to private school for a while, and then my mom took me out and put me in homeschool, and then I was homeschooled for a very long time. And like, I know how bad the public school education system is because I didn't go into it until foster care. My first day there, the level of knowledge that I knew shocked my own teachers. And it was crazy because a lot of these kids, when they found out I was homeschooled, thought I was stupid or dumb. Yeah, no. We spent a lot, I think that's probably another reason why I'm so introverted or whatever, but, like, if it wasn't for homeschooling, I don't even know where I would be right now. These public schools are just shit these days.
Stop it.
I looked at the curriculum. It's garbage. It has nothing to do with history.
AP African American history.
Garbage.
Defend
Have
it.
you seen the curriculum? He actually
Look, she won't even respond. It's like, how are you gonna defend something you don't even fucking know what it is, bitch? And this is why I say she's naive. She's not. It's like they're just activists. Like, do you even know what it is that he's banning? Did you bring it the curriculum? Did you?
come back the next day and give me another shot.
The stuff at the end there that you said, that's total indoctrination.
Yeah, it is.
All the intersectionality,
By the way,
trans.
That's the statement. You don't think that black trans people exist or black queer people exist or
That's a straw
non-conforming
man
people?
or a straw trans.
Don't do that. I'm serious.
No, I'm actually being serious. Just because people do not want that stuff.
And then this is the thing too. When you're black and you have white people speaking like this about black history, and we're telling like I'm glad these here, they're not even black, and they're standing up and saying, what does that have to do about black history? What I really hate, because like, if there's a black person who pushes this shit instead of what our actual history is, it makes, like, you should be already ashamed of yourself. You're already doing a disservice to your own community. But what makes it mad is when you have other people, you allow other people to tell us how to think, tell us what to think about our own history, who don't know shit about our history, who like to tell us what to think about our history. Like, man, nah, fuck you. Fuck everyone who thinks like you. Like, nah, bitch.
Because it's age inappropriate. It does not make them transphobic. Because you're going there.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about a book ban now. Out of Darkness, a young adult novel about two teens that have a relationship.
Yeah,
it's now in 16 school districts are coming for this book.
Whatever
I don't know about the book.
Yeah,
I will read
you know
it this
why?
weekend.
Because good. Let's book club it
Coming
because
up
it deals
next,
with racism.
Get off my lawn. Neighborhood fights are...
Yeah, so of course
Here you go.
I
Here's the curriculum.
looked into this course, okay, to see what was in the curriculum. And
Let's see.
Ron DeSantis was not.
Let's see. It's like, okay, weekly instructional focus, African American studies, movements, and method. This topic explores the development of Black intellectual traditions before and after slavery at the foundations of Black studies. Students may examine the text by Manning Marable and Darlene Clark. I never even heard of these people. So this is how. Now it would be a whole tradition. I've never heard of this person ever. You know, there's especially if you want to talk about tradition, if you want to talk about text and stuff, I would expect names. I should have expected names that I grew up with, like old people, texts and stuff. I've never heard of these people. But anyways, the next topic, methods and movements in Black studies, this topic explores how Black social and political movements shape Black studies and the impact of institutionalization in the universities on the field. Students may examine the text by Cynthia Winter. Black queer studies. This topic explores the concept of queer and color critique grounding in Black feminism and intersectionality as a Black studies lens that shifts sexuality towards racial analysis. Students may examine text by writers such as Kathy Cohen, Roderick Fredrickson, whatever this topic. It's like, what does any of this stuff have to do with Black history, like African American, studies? I'm sorry, like, what is it about this that has anything to do with Black history? Just reading that. Everything about this tells me about what's happening right here, right now.
Not capping about what's in this class, okay, as you have intersectionality and activism here. Okay,
what? Look at this whole. Oh my God.
This topic examines intersectionality as an analytical framework and its connection.
Okay, here are some names: Toni Morrison, Gloria. Okay, I know these. Okay, this topic explored literally contributions of Black feminists and women's writers. See, I wouldn't mind that. I mean, I know there's Black feminist writers, but how are they going to portray them? Because when I was reading Maya Angelou, when I was reading all Toni Morrison, and there's like Zoe. That's more like rated R stuff. Like, I didn't get the sense of, this Black feminism being as if we're stronger than Black men, or we're weak somehow when it comes to, white women or any of this other stuff. No, I got the sense of, hey, I could be anything I want. And a matter of fact, there's a lot of poems not Toni Morrison. Oh my God, I just named her. Anyways, I literally just named her. But there was poems that I would memorize from these Black authors, and it only just instilled in you as a little Black girl how you can be anything in the world, how I can do anything I want, and nothing's going to stop me as long as I have God and Jesus, all this other stuff. So it's like, I don't ever remember reading things written by Black feminist writers that made it seem like they were exalting themselves higher than any other being, and then at the same time victimizing themselves too. I just don't see that. And the way I'm looking at this whole entire topic 4 or chapter 4, it just seems to be like trying to make Black people as a victim is what it seems like.
To Chicano and Asian American feminists.
It's like very subtle.
Students may explore a text from writings of Kimberly Crenshaw, Patricia Hill Collins, or Angela Davis. There's a whole section on Black feminist movement, womanism, and intersectionality. Yeah, I mean that is what's there. They also have a whole section here on Black queer studies. Black queer studies. Okay, they got a whole section here on. Because
the one thing I know one thing, they'll never spin this. They'll never ever spin this when it comes to like Black women. When you look at like individuals like Sojourner Truth, and you look at individuals like Harriet Tubman, these women, like they were very, very strong individuals mentally, okay, and emotionally. But they wrote, they still alongside men. They fought alongside men too. But it was more along the way to work with each other. And at that time, during the height of slavery, where the people who were in charge were white, right? They will never ever spin a tale in which, hey, you can be a black woman, a very strong black woman, and still thrive in the world of men. But yes, you need to know your place. We all need to know our place. Doesn't mean that they want to run you want to run them. It's called cohesion here, and you can still do great things. They'll never ever spin it that way. Never. They'll never spin it in that way, because then Harriet Tubman wouldn't be seen as a victim. Okay, she has to be seen as a victim, and this is why they want. I bet you, and just from looking at what they have so far, it doesn't really seem like this African American studies shows and I hate it, African Americans. No, we're fucking just Americans, okay? If you want to put black Americans, it seems like this whole entire curriculum is to just highlight struggles of black history, or just black people in history, not to bring in other or highlight other uniqueness that is about us, that brought us out of our struggles, and highlight things that we have accomplished due to our struggles. No, it seems to just only want to highlight the struggles of blacks, in my opinion, just to subconsciously bring up just this resentment, for some, and then a need for me to write this for others. And I'm like, I don't like this type of subconscious, indoctrination. That's what it seems like to me. I'm sorry if I can't really express myself in a way, or I get you guys lost, but this is what I see, stuff like this. It's like they're putting it in your face, like, see, we are doing it. We do want people to know it. But subconsciously, when I read this, it makes it seem, it's like you're trying to tell a story as in the Black American studies, like black people are victims, like black people are have only just struggles here in America. It's just, I don't like it. It's literally CRT, but under like just an incognito. That's how I see this whole entire class.
Black Lives Matter, right? They just, it's one of those things where it's like, here's the way I look at it, okay?
Now this isn't scientific.
But anyways, that's just my take on this.